to talk today about bringing the warrior spirit out of yourself and using it as one way to serve you, but also as a service to your family, friends, and humanity. Warriors are strong, they are valiant, they listen to this place deep inside of their heart. They practice diligently what they are teaching as a way to spread goodness to humanity, to the world, to all sentient beings. We need warriors right now. Yoga and a diligent practice with that cultivates it naturally. If we practice yoga in a way that it was meant to be practiced, we practiced based on following our breath. The breath is what we are able to cultivate, and it's kind of like this translation that connects us to our emotional, mental well-being and our ability to act and respond versus react. It allows us to, of course, physically open up our body, improves our blood flow, helps us to feel very good by adding more breath, oxygen, all those good things. And from a soul purpose, from a spiritual perspective, it allows us to connect in deeper ways to whatever allows us to feel supported by either nature, a divinity, a god-like figure, whatever it is that you happen to believe in. And it works with any path of life that humans follow. It's one of the reasons that I love yoga so much. All right, so we'll start seated, thinking of the warrior being present and learning from the past. So any past experiences you have, not dwelling on them, but being able to use the lessons of the past to allow us to be present, strong, open-hearted right now, and to, of course, plan for the future, but to diminish any sense of anxiety. We do not need anxiety right now. That is very fear-based to be full of anxiety. What we need is somebody who knows that in the end of all of this, we will move forward in our humanity, in our humanness. If you've found a seated posture, sit up nice and tall, broaden through the shoulders, drop the chin down a bit, and just as I always start a practice, either lower the eyes to look down towards the nose or close your eyes completely. Start to find the breath through the nose if possible. If for any reason that is uncomfortable, breathe through the mouth. Focus on exhalations. Every exhale, rooting down through the sit bones. Reaching tall through the crown of the head. Every inhale, working to broaden the shoulders, lift up through the front of the heart, but also the back of the torso. So you're expanding the ribcage. Exhale very slowly, very evenly. Draw the low belly in. Feel the core start to engage. Inhale. Pause at the top. Exhale, draw the low belly in. Maybe pause and hold empty at the bottom and allow your body to settle. Allow the mind to relax. Inhale. Exhale. Pause. 3 more times. Big inhale. Try to breathe in a little bit more breath. Pause. Kind of relax around that pause. Expand. Exhale. Stay tall. Draw the low belly in. Feel the rib cage wrapping around the spine. One more. Big inhale. Exhale. arms reach up overhead. Exhale, chin down, interlace the fingers, shoulders down and back. Inhale, palms tall. Exhale, stay tall. Bring the hands behind the head, maybe a little bit if that's enough, or all the way. Keep dropping the chin down. Press the back of the head back. Inhale, expand through the shoulders. Exhale, relax the shoulders, broaden the elbows. Pull the low belly in. Inhale, bring the palms tall. Exhale, release, start to circle through the wrists, move the head left and right. Take as many breaths as it takes to kind of let the arm energy relax. Now, turn to hands and knees. I'll turn sideways. Index fingers parallel, thumbs down to the ground, shoulders nice and broad. Stay very steady, take a breath. And just notice where the breath expands inside of your body. Exhale. Now, inhale, sit bones up, belly down, heart lifts, push the hands down. Exhale, push the hands down, push the knees down, round the back, look down. Again, inhale. And exhale. Now, you can either stay in this pattern, cat-cow, shoulders where they are, hips where they are, or you can make it more dynamic. If you want to make it more dynamic, on an exhale, reach back, sit bones down. Inhale, temporarily put the forearms down, shoulders broad. Now the head travels forward, elbows come off the ground. Reach long. Maybe if the back is good, you can lift up the heart. Exhale, reach down and back. Remember that you can stay with cat-cows too. Inhale, shoulders nice and broad, reaching forward, nice and strong. Look forward, maybe up. Exhale, push the hands away from you as you draw down and back. About 3 more times, whatever you are choosing to do. Exhale, nice and strong, low belly draws in, bow the head. Inhale, maybe lifting the knees, maybe the knees stay down. And exhale, maybe hover the knees for a moment or keeping them on the ground. Now this time as you inhale, choice is to lift up. Maybe the knees lift, maybe they don't. And either exhale to a child's pose, or if it's okay for your shoulders, you might move into a downward dog. If you choose a downward dog, hands are shoulder width apart, index fingers parallel, thumbs rooting down, eyes look down towards your feet or the belly. Knees can be bent, sit bones lift up, belly engaged. You might stay there, or you might start to pedal through the feet. If you're in a child's pose, you can move the hands to the right and to the left a little bit if you prefer. Feel the breath enlivening your body. Now, if you're in a child's pose, start to walk forward, come towards standing forward fold. If you're in a downward dog, inhale, lift through the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, hips back, either jump or walk or take a big step forward, feet together or hip width apart. Inhale, lift up through the heart. You can set the hands against the shin bones or above the knees if you like. Knees can bend as much as you need to. Exhale, bow down. Now, you might keep the hands on the ground. If you have the hamstrings that like it and it's not straining, you might bow. Most hamstrings don't like that. So you can take a hold of opposing elbows, just bow down, possibly resting the torso above your upper leg bones, and just breathing. Heels down, toes spread, tuck the chin. If you'd like to, you can sway a little bit left and right, or stay very still. Push the feet down more. Start to press the pelvis towards the ceiling. Bow the head more. Allow the spine to cascade out of the hip area. Take another breath. Now, either reverse swan dive to stand if that's something you're familiar with, or put the hands against the legs, or maybe at the crease of the hips, lift the heart. As you push the feet down, inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands come down to the sides. This is called Samasthiti. Take a breath. Samasthiti means equal standing posture. As you exhale, push down through the feet, lean towards the left. This is my left, so maybe your left or right. It doesn't really matter. So try to center the head between the arms. At the small, there's the shoulders. You can either hold the longer arm's wrist, or the one that doesn't have the bent elbow, right? Or take one hand down to the ground. You're trying to press down through the feet. Knees can be bent here. Take about 3 more breaths. Nice, strong, open heart of a warrior. You're opening the side of the heart, opening the side of the hips. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, take the whole exhale to bring the arms all the way down. Chin down, take a breath. Expanding the ribcage. Exhale, push the feet down. Inhale, arms grow very tall. Interlace the fingers. And exhale, lean to your second side. Left or right is fine. Try to kind of center the head between the arms as best as you can. Draw the upper shoulder back. Again, if you prefer, you can hold on to the wrist or maybe take an arm down. Take about 3 more breaths. Now, push the feet down. Inhale, grow very tall. Release the fingers. Exhale, arms come all the way down. Again, if you need an extra breath, take it. Now, I kind of think of this like a duck. So we think of all the typing we do, all the forward motions that we do. So I like to add in things that help the wrists a little bit. So you're going to internally rotate the shoulders, elbows reach out, wrists tuck in, bend the knees, take the wrist bone right to the crease of the hips, round back, tuck the chin down, and bring the knuckles in towards the wrist a little bit. This might feel a little bit goofy in the mind, but I really think about like ducks, kind of walking around, and that's the vision that I get in my mind. So bow the head a little bit more. You can have open palms or closed. Another breath or 2. And then unwind all this. Unwind the arms. Big inhale, stand tall. Now as you exhale, either a direct forward fold. If the back is compromised at all, bend the knees first, hips back, and then bow down. You can keep the knees incredibly bent here. Inhale. And as you exhale, either step back or jump back to a plank. So you can either hold a plank here or put the knees down. You do not have to have the knees up. Push down with the hands. I'll do it from an upward position. Heels reach back. Eyes look down towards the toes. As you push down through the thumbs of the hands, whether you're on the knees or not, take the space between the shoulder blades and try to lift it to the ceiling and breathe space from an inside-out perspective into the space between the shoulders. Now, using knees to the ground or not, exhale, elbows energized towards the center. Lower down either to a low push-up or all the way to the belly. If you're on the knees, it might look like this. Okay? Now, exhale, down, tops of the feet to the ground. You can stay right here and breathe. Or, if the back is okay with this, push the tailbone down, elbows reach back, hands push down. As you push down into the mat, let the heart lift. Chin can be down, keep breathing. Eyes can look forward. If the spine allows and the heart invites it, maybe look lightly up. Take another breath. Push the toes down, come all the way down. Now you can either turn the toes under, lift the hips up, move towards a child's pose, or find your way back to downward dog. To find a child's pose, you would inhale, lift the sit bones up and back. Exhale, lower down. If you're moving from a low push-up to a downward dog, low push-up, take a breath. Inhale, exhale into a downward dog. Stay for 3 breaths. Now, find your way to either downward dog or to hands and knees. If you're on hands and knees, right leg will reach back. If you're in a downward dog, lift the right leg. Take about 3 breaths, reaching back, reaching back, reaching back. Now, either from a kneeled position or a downward dog, find your way to have your right foot between the hands. It might mean that you're like this instead, and It might mean that you're all the way upright. It might mean that it worked for your body to step forward. The back foot spins open. If you need to, feet can go wider. That's easier on the hips. They can come closer, or they can be about one leg's distance apart. Either walk up the front leg or reach the hands up overhead or down to the hips. Right hip back, left foot, outer edge, pushes down and lift up through the heart. Stay and breathe. Now hands can stay low, supporting the hips. They could reach out to cactus or up overhead. Take a few more breaths. This is Warrior One, Virabhadrasana A. We are grounded down, lifting up. In the center, we find freedom between an effort and sense of ease. Keep the breath strong. With an exhale, hands come down, maybe to the ground. Lift the back heel from the ground. Either a knee down, step back, or step back to a downward dog. Now you can stay in a downward dog or on the hands and knees resting. If you'd like to add in a little bit more movement, you can exhale, lower the heart. Inhale, lift up the heart. And exhale, child's pose or a downward dog. Take a couple more breaths. Left leg, either from a child's pose, hands and knees, or from a downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg back, maybe up. On an exhale, send the foot between the fingers, spin the back foot open. If you've been on hands and knees, you might walk up the hands and be right here. Or you could open the foot and just like the first side, arms at the hips or arms overhead. Every breath you're pushing the feet down, left hip back, lift through the heart. Keep breathing. If this is easy, lower the center of gravity. If this is a lot, straight to the front leg and take a break. Take about 2 more breaths. You're pushing down, reaching sit bones down, pull the low belly in, lift the sternum, breathe. Arms could also be out at right angles. Then exhale, energize the hips back, hands come down, either child's pose, or maybe you reach the leg back, maybe you set it down, maybe you'd like to move through the vinyasa pattern. Breathe. Now, as you inhale, lift through the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Step forward. If you've been on hands and knees, you can come here. Maybe step 1 foot forward. So whatever way you'd like to find a standing that feels safe to you. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take 1 exhale to bend the knees. Maybe they bend a little bit. If you have more space to go, they could bend a lot. If you have more space to go, they could bend quite a lot. Stay for an extra breath. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, fold forward. Again, you can bend the knees or have straight legs, bow. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, push the hands down. Either step onto hands and knees, just stepping the one knee down and then the other, or step the legs back. Inhale, head forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, child's pose or a downward dog. Breathe. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back. Exhale, either being on one knee down, one knee up, or back to that Warrior One. You could stay here. Again, if you want to, you can have chairs on the side of you to assist, or use blocks if you use yoga blocks, okay? So either from here or Warrior One. Now, come open to Warrior Two. I'm going to spin around here so you don't just have to see my rear. So here, Warrior Two really symbolizes that energy of perpendicular to the spine. So you're here in the present moment with your heart, with the mind energy. You're reaching into the future, but not so far that you're off balance. And you're not reaching so far back that you're causing quite a bit of pain in yourself. You're reaching right up and down. It should be fairly good for you here. If you like, straight leg. If you need, heel toe the back foot forward. You don't have to be far. It could be right here. Breathe. Eyes look into the future, fingers in the past, you're present. Another breath. Now, big inhale. Exhale, carefully find your best way into either low lunge or a back knee in. Take as many breaths, as much time as you need. When ready, step leg back. Either stay in hands and knees, maybe cat-cows. Maybe step back, lower down, lift up the heart, and find a downward dog. It's your choice. Breathe. Inhale, lift through the left leg, either straight back or up. Exhale, again, find your way to either one knee down, one knee up, or if it's your way of it, you can move into a warrior one again. Okay, you're grounded in the past, steady in the future, which brings it all together. The balancing point is the present. Now, warrior two. So I've got the same problem. I'm going to switch around real quick. So left leg forward, right leg back, arms maybe overhead, maybe the hips open. So once more, knee over the ankle, or you can heel toe in, and it can be very shallow. It doesn't have to be a deep position, okay? Shoulders nice and broad, forward and back with the arms, open heart, breathe. If this is easy, lower the center of gravity, keep pushing the feet down. If it's too much, lengthen through that left leg, breathe. I am strong. I am fierce, but with a deep sense of compassion. So we have kindness and strength simultaneously. Now to come out of it, again, you can find a careful way. Windmill the arms, maybe to the ground, maybe to the leg. Back knee can come down. Maybe you step back. Maybe you move down to the heart, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Perhaps you'd like to do cat-cows. Or simply rest. Inhale, shoulders over the wrist. On an exhale, either stay or a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up through the heels. Exhale, bend through the knees. Find a very safe way, as many breaths as it takes to come up to standing. Inhale, lift the heart, long spine. Exhale, bend knees as much as you need to, bow. Bend through the knees, push your feet down. Span the arms out to the side. Let the arms lengthen or reach up at the same time the legs lengthen. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Take a few breaths here. Now from a standing position, I'll show you warrior three. If you already know that pose, you can get into it as quickly as you like. If you're using chairs to the side, bring them in front of you, maybe one chair in front of you. If you're using blocks, just have them about right here. Or you can use a leg or free hands. I'll just use my leg, but know that you can support your hands onto any surface that you'd like, and it will help you. Now, right foot grounds down. Bend the knees if you like, or they can be straight. Push both hands onto the right leg or onto the surface that you're reaching towards, even if it's lower to the ground. Broaden shoulders, press energy into that right leg. This is the beginning of a warrior three. You could stay right here, working on balance and pulling into your center. If you'd like, you can start to bring the legs back, bow the head. If there's any pain in the back of the pelvis or low back, stay closer to the center of your body. If you are doing okay, you might work on lengthening through the legs. Right hip back, left hip lowers. Maybe the hands are supported against the ground, legs, chair, locks. Maybe you reach one arm forward, maybe both. Take about 3 more breaths. And then come out of it either the way you came in. I'll do it this way for right now. Carefully breathing, breathing, breathing. Stand up. Set the foot down. Take a breath. If you'd like to, you can march. That will release the legs. Or stay still. 2 more breaths. Next, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down with heart center. Other chair or the block. Start with one leg bent, reach back. This could be perfect. You might reach one leg back. That could be perfect. You might start to lengthen through both legs. Maybe you have the hands, oops, fell. Maybe you have the hands against the upper left leg bone. Spin the right hip down, left leg reaches back. Maybe one arm is forward, maybe both. Take 3 more breaths. Broad shoulders, lift up through the heart of it. And then come out the way that you came in. Step the legs together, maybe you balance on one foot for a moment. Roll up through the spine this time. Big inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Take 2 or 3 breaths. Inhale, arms reach tall. As you exhale, bend the knees, reach the arms out, maybe down. Maybe the hands come forward. Maybe you start to bring the hips back a bit. Take a couple breaths here. You can always have hands, again, on a solid surface instead of supporting against the air. Now, whether you're supported on a chair, onto just the ether, onto the ground with the hands, right foot stays grounded, left foot is going to come down, and just find a bent kneel position. If this is too much, you can set a knee on top of a blanket or a pillow. Start to lower the pelvis a bit, shoulders broad. Lift up through the heart. You might stay here. This leg that's back, this is a crescent, it's called Anjaneyasana, but you can think of it as like a crescent moon. So whichever leg is back, same arm comes up. You can stay here. You might take a hold of the arm that is with the bent knee, lift up, and then lift up your own wrist as you very carefully keep pushing the front foot down. Pelvis reaches slightly forward, and now breathe and breathe. I am strong. I have warrior heart. And I trust my instinct to know what my best actions are always. Arms reach out, arms reach down to the hips. You could stay here. You could work on balancing on the front heel, and then maybe leaning forward a little bit to stretch the hamstrings. This is another time that you could use chairs on the side or blocks. If your hamstrings again like it, never force this. If they like it, you can fold more. If this is something easy, maybe reach the arms, maybe take a hold of your wrist in front. Breathe. Inhale, come up. Exhale, either just simply switch the legs. You could have a knee bent, 2 knees down, switch, whatever makes sense. You can do it slower. Breathe. Always stay with the breath. Now start to lean a little bit forward, so you're not just dumping your energy. You're very intelligently keeping the front foot grounded. The back foot could turn the toes under. I'll do that here this time. Left hip back. The pelvis reaches down. You're not dumping into the low back. Sit bones are reaching down. Pelvic floor is lifted. Low belly draws in. The heart is open. Shoulders are broad. Now, if you'd like to lift up again through the long arm, you might stay here. You might take the lower arm if you don't need that support against the leg to hold it up. Very gently, as you're lifting through the wrist, broaden the shoulders, lean a little bit forward. You might even squeeze the glute of that back leg. It will help to open the quadricep muscles, so those upper front leg muscles a little bit more. Breathe. Now, push the left foot down to bring yourself upright. Arms down, you could stay here. Or, maybe you're here. So the big toe side foot's pressing forward, baby toe back, and this helps the whole leg muscles to support you all the way up, including the glutes. If you'd like to, again, you can fold a little bit. Maybe hands down. What you don't want to do is just kind of drop it down. You want to stay very strong. You want to remember that you're a warrior, and warriors are strong. They're grounded and they believe in themselves. Maybe the hands down here. Now, however way is best for you, come all the way up, big inhale. Exhale to the knees. You could stay up. If it bothers you to lower, then stay upright. Maybe the toes are tucked under, maybe the tops of the feet are to the ground. If you're comfortable with it, sit back. A couple breaths. My toes are turned under right now. It's torture, but it's really good for your feet, especially if you happen to wear shoes for a living. Okay, if the toes are tucked under, put them underneath. You can be down low or high, or if you have a cushion, you can put it between your legs and lean back onto the cushion. We'll just be here for a moment. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Take a breath. Yes. Now, hands will come either to the quads if you're up high, or maybe towards the knees if you're low. Just round back, pull onto the quads or the knees. Take a few breaths here. So you're stretching again the back of the heart. Notice my shoulders came up a bit. That's kind of normal biomechanics that'll happen. Now, push against the upper legs, a little bit of the back bend. So it feels like you're doing a very slow motion, held in place cat-cow, but you're on your knees. And it could look like this if you're upright. It's okay. Either carefully find a seated position off to the side. If you want to add a little bit of core into it, you can push the hands to the floor to blocks. Maybe lift. Maybe hold that for a moment. But eventually find your way to seated. I'll turn back to the side here. So once you find seated, sit up nice and tall. Drop the chin down. Big toes reach forward, baby toes pull back. Chin is down. Every inhale, just like you did at the beginning, expand the rib cage. Every exhale, hugging the rib cage around the spine, pulling the low belly in as much as makes sense. It might not be seen from an outside eye, but you can feel that internal fire really growing. Take about 3 more breaths. Big inhale. Big exhale. This pose is called Dandasana, and it translates essentially to staff pose. So think of it like a nice strong staff. As you inhale, reach the arms overhead. If you like those circles, you can add the circles, otherwise just reach up. Exhale, choices are to just set the hands down. If that's enough on the hamstrings, stay here and breathe. If you have a fold in here, reach the hips back to fold forward. You might fold forward a little bit. It might ask you to bend the knees. You can bend, and that just depends on your body. The way you know if you need to bend or not is, can you breathe deeply? Maybe you're here, maybe you're further, maybe you hold your feet, maybe you hold your hands. Take about 3 more breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, inhale, come upright, fire through the quadriceps here, so you're lifting the knees up. Exhale, pause. You might just come upright. If you want to be a little bit more integrated, you can push the hands down, watch quads cramping here, be mindful. You might push here if you'd like to. You push and lift. And if you like that, you can stay and just join in when you're ready. For me, it's like a breath and I'm done. Scoot forward a bit, push the feet down to the ground. Either lean back and hold here, broaden the shoulders, feel the core engage, push the feet down. Or you can find a variation of a boat pose called Navasana. Nava means boat, Nava, and then asana is the pose. Or straight legs. Take about 3 more breaths. So your legs up, bent, and down. 2 more breaths. Then indeed, set the feet down, or if you'd like a challenge, keep the feet up. On an exhale, either use the hands to assist or not roll onto the back. Walk the feet in towards your sit bones. Either stay very steady, nice and long through the spine. Arms could come out to the side if you're staying here. If you'd like to do a bridge pose, walk the feet in more, shoulders down and back, push the feet down. Inhale, lift the hips, push the head down, push the shoulders down, stay here. Or roll the shoulders under, lift the chin up just a little bit, and instead breathe the collarbone towards the chin. Do not drop the chin if you've lifted the hips. You see that? So my chest is lifting towards me. I'm not bowing down to the chest. So you're opening up the rib cage at the front through the breath. Now, with an exhale, if you've lifted the hips, roll all the way down carefully. Either stay very steady here, or you can take the knees in towards the chest. If you take the knees into the chest, you can keep the head down, or draw the chin up towards the knees here. Take a couple more breaths. Now, choices are, you can either put the feet back down, lift the legs up to tabletop, flex the toes back and stay steady. Legs can come up overhead. Or, bear with me for a moment, you can find your way to a shoulder stand. Do not do this if you're not used to it. Hold the low back through here. Again, back of the head presses down. Chin is lifted away from the chest area. Toes can either be reached to the ceiling, which is my preferred, based on my teachers Manju Joyce and Srivatsa Ramaswamy, or toes flexed towards the knee, or somewhere just relaxed. Take a couple more breaths. If you are on the back, bend the knees back into the heart. If you are doing a shoulder stand, keep the head pressing down. Maybe legs come behind you a little bit. Maybe they come a lot. Maybe you bend the knees towards the forehead. Take a couple more breaths. And then if you're on the shoulders, carefully roll down. If you're on the back, carefully just set the feet down. Once the feet are on the ground, put the soles of the feet together. Knees nice and wide. You can hold, or maybe you would put blankets right here. And just breathe. You can take one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. You can bring the arms overhead. If you're someone that does a fish pose, Matsyasana, you can push the elbows down. See how I'm holding my hands to the kind of upper leg area? Push the elbows down. Maybe stay here. If the neck is good, lift the heart. And maybe very delicately reach the head either towards the ground or to the ground. Take a couple more breaths. Now, if you brought the head down and you're in a fish pose, to come out of it, big inhale. Inhale, tuck the chin now towards the neck. Exhale, roll down. That's a safe way out of it. It works on undulation of the spine. Bring the knees back together. Now, you can either just rest on the back. Maybe the knees are bent. You could go into a traditional Shavasana. You could lie on the side, or even come up to a seated position. What feels restful to you? And today, I haven't tried this yet on video, so we'll have to find out how it works. And if it isn't the greatest, then I won't play it. But if we like it, then I will play it more. This is a crystal singing bowl. It's 99.8% crystal, and it is actually tuned to the heart chakra area. It is an F note, but based on the 432 hertz scale. So anyone that's very musical, you'll find that it's a little bit off, but that's okay. Now, either on the back, seated, whatever makes sense, just stay there, close the eyes and breathe, and start to let go. Allow yourself to embody the energy of a warrior. It does not matter if you're male or female. You can be very strong. You can trust that life is working for you, even if it doesn't look like it. It is working for you and coming together for you. So allow yourself to breathe very softly now. And at any point, if you'd like to, you can completely let go of the breath and allow your body to breathe you. This miracle that we can either be breathed by our body or conscientiously yoke it into our hearts. When you're resting, you can choose always. Now I'll play the bowl. Choose to either stay exactly as you are. If you're on the back in any manner and would prefer to sit upright, you may. But start to find the breath again. And notice that with the breath, especially as we cultivate it every day, it begins to open up this sense of lightness within us. This is this conscientious prana, is what we call in yoga, life force, light-filled energy that we cultivate. And we get to choose to use it as a force of goodness in our lives and to also bless the lives of others. And on purpose, yoga teaches us that we can cultivate this and that we have the ability to empower ourselves to think and be truthful to the energy that our heart calls for. And this is a gift that every human has. But it's our choice if we wake up to that or not. And I promise you, it feels so good to be able to move from a place of knowing in the heart, a deep truth in our gut, and let that synchronize with our brains so we don't have fear override us. We have heart-filled knowing and intelligence guiding us. And it's so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this is helpful. And I wish you a very, very beautiful, wonderful, sunny, happy day. Even if the sun is not shining outside, you can create that sunshine in your heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.